We had a depression, and during the depression, my father had just landed he did all his own work, by the way. He didn't have anybody working in advertising. He originated the ideas. He picked out companies that he knew or happened to see and noted how they were advertising and selling their product and what he could think of that they should do better than what they were doing. And he would work out a plan for them, and he would set up some pages, some ads, some suggested ads, and go to see them, make an appointment. He always said, go to the president, because otherwise they will defer and say, I will have to talk to the president about this. So he said he always worked with the president, made his appointment, take his work and his artwork in and talk to the president about it. And he had a very good account called Prima Beer. And he went along with Prima Beer for, quite a few years, many years. And he thought, Dad was very fond of baseball, and he thought that it would be a good idea to combine the beer and the baseball. And he wrote little cards saying about Prima Beer, how good it is, and how enjoyable a nice cold glass of beer is when you're listening to the game on the radio. And he got a man, he went to WBBM, and he sold him that idea of broadcasting the baseball games at Wrigley Field. And they would have a man there watching the game, and he would tell all the plays. And then they would have an interval. He would have the intervals planned where he would read the card of the ad for Prima Beer. And then he would go on with the baseball game. And he worked it out, and the station suggested a man who knew baseball and could announce the games, and his name was Pat Flanagan, and he was a very nice man. And so all of a sudden he was in the baseball business, and that really took off. He was the first person to ever do that, and it was so popular that pretty soon other radio stations in Chicago began broadcasting baseball games and having sponsors, and the advertisers began getting into the radio. So he started that. And one of his slogans was, he took this, it was one of his slogans. He went to another company. It was another beer company. How was it? Anyway, he said, it was, they were Atlas. And years later, I think Prima, something happened to Prima, and then Atlas came in town. And his slogan was Atlas Prager, I believe they called it. Atlas Prager, got it, get it. And that was the slogan. And he called on the man a few times, but as it happened, whatever it was, he didn't get that account. But they took that slogan and they featured it for many years, and it always made Dad mad because he never got a cent for it. They just took his work and used it, which was, they could really be, sued for that now. But that's a chance. That's about the only time he ever had that. happen. And he had other accounts. One was a man who made electric things like toasters and coffee pots, and he had a nice line of, he'd sell the pots, you know, and it was an electric company. It's called an electric company. I can't think of the name of it. And Dad thought it was a good company, good product, but he didn't always like his product's designs, the design of a toaster or a coffee pot. He did a lot of new sets of coffee pots that have the tray, the coffee pot, the sugar, the creamer, and Dad designed those. And he was very careful about it, and some of them, I had some of them for a long time, and Mother, of course, got usually a sample of it. He would bring it home so she could see it. If she liked it, he would get her the set. So that was a nice thing. I remember that.